This is a static electric machine that I built. It's not real high potential and about 5 to 10,000 volts. The condenser is built here into the lower plate, and if you were to see the back of that lower plate, you would see that one set of foils is opposite to that, and it runs to this other charge post at the top. So the Leyden jar is built in the back configuration, and then it's quadranted by these 4 segments, and you can see that the pieces moving in this are on the inside wheel. It's driven by a small AC motor. It's basically a die rod machine. It turns at about 300 RPM, so the 12 segments gives us about 3,600 cycles per second, or per minute. So this is really a relatively low RPM, low cycles machine. But what I wanted to demonstrate here is that by breaking and reconfiguring using the neutral lines rather than the charge post potentials that we normally see on static machines, power can be a more steady form of power can be achieved out of these machines, and they can even be made to be useful power. It's more the concept of how the fields move and other things, but here, let me demonstrate, and so you can begin to see. I have a LED here from a tail light out of a modern vehicle, and I don't know if you can really see that here, so I'm going to turn the light off. That's a LED. Now, part of the reason I'm making this video is Lidmotor had talked with me about power being, the SEC being static electric in nature, and I really tend to agree with him. We don't use power, perhaps we don't understand it in the way that it should be. I mean, our concept of the atom comes out of the 3 basic charge principles of the electrostatic, the positive, the negative, and the neutral. And as you can see, this machine doesn't give much of a spark. But I wanted to show this because instead of getting the typical flash out of this machine for a fluorescent tube, you saw there that I have pretty consistent lighting of an LED light. But now we're going to try a fluorescent tube, and let's see how we do there. Now, like I said, this is a very low power machine. I mean, this is definitely in the microamps, and being made of acrylic plastic, it has real leakage problems due to the metal used in the making of these types of plastics. So you can see it has a small bleed to it. There's a lot of other things that I could demonstrate about electrostatics and electrostatic fields. They basically are centered around everything from how we drive different circuits to electrical components that we get as well. Field effect transistors, MOSFETs. I'm changing this right now to a different to a different bulb. If I can grab a hold of it here in the dark. Okay, here we go. Now, what I have here is a small xenon tube. It's a flash tube. And you can see that at 1800 cycles a minute, this is not real powerful. But it is a form of demonstrating that real usable power could be generated by these types of machines. And I have a lot of reasons for saying this from other things that I have done. So I guess basically I just want to say that this is my demonstration. It's a different way of using electrostatic machines and electrostatic fields. And I would hope that other people would take a look at this. There's a lot here to be learned. Thank you very much for watching.